Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be going through DegreeWorks and what a student worksheet looks like. We're actually going to take a look at some classes I've taken in my account, so we don't have to worry about FERPA at all. So what you would do is log into DegreeWorks by clicking on the My NCCC at the top right of the main page. Click on DegreeWorks and log in. It's going to land you here, and you're going to search for a student by clicking in your student ID box here, typing in the student ID, or looking by their name and clicking submit. So we've landed upon the student here. Student is Caitlin Weatherwax, and up at the top, typically there's a little bit more information up here, including who the assigned advisor is. It will include attempted and earned credit hours, best contact information, possibly cohorts, attributes the student is in. If there's any holds would display all of that. As you scroll down later, you will see degree progress. You can take a look at overall GPA, and you can take a look at what that degree the student is in. So in this case, we're going to look at biology AS. And under this main heading here, you can see there needs to be a 2.0 minimum GPA for that student to graduate. They need to fulfill all of the major requirements, all of the foundation course requirements, all of the general education requirements, and then apply for graduation. When your student applies for graduation, you can actually view their status here. It will say if it's pending or not approved or approved, etc. And the student can check there as well. Now, if we scroll down, you can see overall the credits that are required for the program, which is 62 credits, which is 4 that are applying, and the catalog term, and what the student's GPA is for the program and how many credits are still needed. So in this case, this student has Gen Bio completed with an A and the subsequent lab. You can see the term it was taken into and what the remaining classes are that appears here. You can take a look at foundation course requirements. In this case, I haven't taken the placement test, so it doesn't appear here, but it would show what competency the student should be taking. And gen ed requirements, you can see what's completed. So in terms of gen eds, the student has math completed, the student has humanities completed, natural science, social science, and additional gen ed credits in here. So there are a lot of different options that are already completed in the gen eds down here. You can also see courses that are not used. So any courses that don't apply to the program will appear down here, and any courses that might be withdrawals or fails will show into insufficient. Okay, so let's take a look at for advisement for this student. So if this student was planning on going full time, what I might recommend is that student take that next level of the bio they've already taken. We would take a look at math. So that student had taken math 111. So I would probably recommend they have taken 110. So I would recommend they take 111. So that way they can then take the pre-calc the following semester. I would recommend that student takes English 101 since they have a sequence where they may take English 101 and then English 102. And then that student could also, since they're taking Math 111, they could take their general chemistry lecture and lab since it's a co-requisite with Math 111. So I would go in and make that plan there. Now, when taking a look at the courses, I know off the top of my head for chemistry what the co-req prereqs are, but you can click on the course and you can read this through. So to take chemistry 120, there also is a co-requisite of 111 to take the lab at the same time. And then a prerequisite that can be met concurrently is to take math 111. So this student cannot register for chemistry 120 unless they're also registering for chemistry 111 lab and math 111 as well. So what I would do is go through with my advisee the fact of what these prerequisite and co-requisites mean, and also taking a look at making sure that they can even make that schedule. So for spring 2023, this class is offered Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 9:50. The lab should have a couple different times for spring. So they can choose the 9 or the 1 o'clock lab on Thursday. And then I would take a look, we can search for Math 111 and see what times those are offered and make sure that for Math 111, they're able to take those 3 courses together. So all in all, depending on what the student's schedule and goals are, I would go through and discuss with them co-requisites, prerequisites, the schedule that they're planning on doing, making sure they're not taking on too much. Maybe just taking the chemistry with the math would be enough STEM for this semester with the student, and to level it off, we might do an English and maybe a health class or a language class or an art class, just so we're not putting too much on their plate at once. So have a discussion with your student, find out what their levels are. I mean, having A's in bio classes before, that student probably is fine in the sciences, but if that's a student who needs to build on their science skills and taking on too much math and science at once would be a difficulty. That's something you need to kind of get out of your student and have a meaningful discussion with them. Find out what other things are occurring in their life. Do they have a work schedule? Are they a student athlete? Are they also taking care of family members? You know, what does their life look like? And sometimes financial aid comes into play too. Sometimes students are going to tell you they have to be full-time because they need to get full-time financial aid, not just part-time financial aid. You know, they might need to go to financial aid and have a discussion about that. There's a lot that comes into play with advisement. So that's why it's good to have a meaningful conversation with your advisees and what their goals are, what four-year school they plan on going to. All of that can change what electives you recommend they take and in what sequence they take them in. So once you've had this discussion with your advisees about what is left, what they should take the following semester, you're going to go ahead and add that plan in up here at the top left in the plans tab. Take a look at our next video recording in the series for how to create a set plan in DegreeWorks. I'm going to show you how to do both a blank plan and how to do a template if it's a more regimented program, like one of the high demand programs or one of the programs that's very sequential. So take a look at our next training in the series to see how to create a plan.